What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Comic Scene. Adam here, your host, and if you guys are curious to know what comic book I'm reviewing in this video, stay tuned and we'll dive in. What's going on, guys? Welcome to this comic book review. Now, the comic that we're going to be reviewing today, the issues in question are Venom on Trial. Let's dive in. So Venom on Trial is a 3-part miniseries that was published by Marvel Comics in March of 1997 and was written and inked by Larry Hama, and the inker is Al Milgrom. So this 3-part miniseries is all about Venom, and he's on trial for a cold case, I think it is, and they're trying to figure out who killed this cop, and he is the main suspect in question. Now, I'm going to give you a little rundown of these 3 issues, not very far into them because I want you guys to dive into these comics and read them. Now, one thing I also noticed in these comics is that Marvel likes to do little callbacks, like as you're reading in these issues, you can see like see in Amazing Spider-Man whatever, or see an issue whatever. So I like that Marvel does like callbacks in these particular issues and everything, so you can find out, so you can go back and read what happened, what the events that happened before the events that happened in Venom on Trial. So the first issue starts out with Venom. He's in the sewers, he's angry, he's fleeing, I guess, the New York Police Department and Spider-Man, and he's angry, talking about how cops are so corrupt, and, you know, if it wasn't for Spider-Man, like, ruining his reputation, you know, he's angry, so he's going to his secret lair. Now, it's not really secret because when he gets in there, you have a bunch of SWAT team, like a bunch of cops, and they have this giant wall of speakers, and they hit him with a bunch of sound. And as you guys know, Venom, he's a symbiotic alien, and when loud sound waves hit him, it disrupts his symbiotic relationship, and I mean, it looks really crazy. It kind of looks like this. That's pretty nuts, wasn't it? Anyway, so that's issue 1. They more or less, they snatch him up and they take him to a holding cell that they have in a giant stadium that has a loud sound system and is far away from the city. And towards the end of this issue, this DA agent that is questioning him and like pretty much saying that he's going to prison for a long time and all this stuff, she actually hits up Matt Murdock at the end. Now, you guys know who Matt Murdock is. He's the Daredevil, and he's a defense attorney. So this is where the plot kind of thickens. Issue 2. On issue 2, it starts at the stadium in the cell, and Matt Murdock's there questioning him about this cold case. And he's trying to, you know, get information out of him to try to help him on trial. And, you know, the plot thickens. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I want you guys to read again. And it goes to the DA talking to Matt Murdock, and he is going to get Spider-Man in front of the jury to, I guess, help Venom, because maybe he knows that Venom wasn't the one that killed this officer. So it goes to Matt Murdock finding Spider-Man. They talk. He pretty much serves him. He's like, here, time to go to court. And Spider-Man's like, you know, I'll help you out or whatever. So it goes there, and, you know, the trial begins. So issue 3, it starts off in the courtroom. They're questioning Carnage. Like, they bring Carnage in, and you guys know Carnage isn't really a big fan of Venom. He's a little wacko. The host that Carnage inhabits. So they start to question Carnage, asking him about the time that he spent in prison with Eddie Brock, and apparently gave them like this whole spiel about how he said that, you know, Eddie Brock did say that he killed this cop, and like he choked the life out of him just to watch him die, and it was only them. And Matt Murdock gets up and he starts questioning Carnage and pretty much debunks his little fabricated story that he was telling the jury. So while all this is happening outside, you have a bunch of people like picketing, and like they're all angry. They want Venom down and stuff because, you know, he's a menace to society. And you see old Webhead flying in, and he's got to go in to testify. And it shows the crowd, and there's the scientist in there. Now in issue 1, the scientist creates a injection that he injects Venom to dampen his symbiotic like link to stop him from manifesting, and they do the same thing to Carnage. Now he's trying to say, like, I got to get in there, something's going wrong. Like, if these two guys get fired up enough, too much adrenaline starts pumping, they're going to, manifest, and it's going to be a whole bunch of chaos. So it goes from that, and Spider-Man's swinging inside with this scientist to get in there, and it turns out they're too late. Carnage already spawns himself, and he starts causing all this chaos, and the same thing happens to Venom. So you got Venom and Carnage in the courtroom, and it's just chaos. They're starting to fight, they're threatening each other and all this stuff. And Spider-Man's like, I got to get in there and help. So he sets the, he tells the scientist, like, back off, just stay out of trouble, whatever. And he starts trying to help. And Carnage is all threatening Spider-Man, saying, you're going to be my appetizer and all this stuff, saying that he's going to, eat Spider-Man and then eat people's brains. So Matt Murdock's still in the courtroom. And everybody knows, well, not everybody, but we know, because we're comic book fans, we know that Daredevil is Matt Murdock. And, he's got to make some kind of appearance to try to help the situation. So it cuts to a panel to where Matt Murdock like fell down, and then bam, he jumps out and he's Daredevil. So you got Daredevil and Spider-Man in there trying to stop Venom and Carnage from tearing up this courtroom. Turns out Venom wants to help out as well. A few panels happen, they fight, and they take down Carnage by injecting him twice with this dampener. Since it's his court date, the judge that's there uses this, I guess, to help him, and they're probably going to lessen his sentence, and all of a sudden you have this military guy show up. He comes in and says, we need this prisoner for, government use. Turns out this military dude is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So at the end of issue 3, they take Venom, and you see Venom sitting in this vehicle with this military dude. Turns out he's in, he hands him a S.H.I.E.L.D. badge and says, S.H.I.E.L.D. needs your expertise. So at the very end of the issue, after the little car scene, there's a little box that says next on License to Kill. So this has been my comic book review. Like I said, I gotta give this little mini series probably a 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. Venom is one of my favorite Marvel villains / anti-heroes, other than like Deadpool, Daredevil, Spider-Man. Those are my guys, and Wolverine, Weapon X. Slink. So yeah, if you guys are digging these videos and you're digging all my other videos, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification button to let you guys know whenever I drop these videos. I have links to all my medias in the descriptions below. And keep coming back, and we'll keep diving into the world of comics and all things nerdy.